Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Desiree Alexander, aka Educator Alexander, and here's your 5-minute tip for this week. So, here's the problem. I have a Google Classroom and I want to make a copy from year to year or semester to semester and use the same information, right? So, I have a Google Classroom and I assigned a Google form. Well, next school year, I made a copy of that Google Classroom. And what I did was clicked, I clicked edit assignment and I assigned the Google form. Well, two things are going to suddenly happen. So when I went to the student, if I have a student that failed the previous year and now they're coming back this year, if they come and click on that Google form again, it's going to say you have already responded. Okay. The second thing that is going to happen is because it's the exact same Google form, all of the responses from last year will still be there. And now the new responses from this year will show up. So we need to see how to fix those problems. Let's get started. So here are some solutions that I have used and have used with teachers. If you have a better one, throw it in the comments right under the video. Solution number 1. Because everything is going to that old Google form, what you're going to want to do is come to your Google Drive and make a copy. So I'm going to right-click all of my Google Forms. I'm going to click Make a Copy. And then when the copy is formed, I can right-click again and rename. So then I will put the school year on it or something like that so I know which one I actually want to use for this school year. Click OK. Of course, that's when your folders are going to come in handy to keep everything in order. Then when I come to the Google Classroom that was already copied and I want to go ahead and assign that form again, I'm going to click it, click Edit Assignment. My directions and all that good stuff will still be here. Then instead of using the old one, I'm going to click the X and I'm going to click Add and add the lowercase one to use. And now that is the one that I can assign. Is fresh. If I have a student that failed from year to year, this one will be brand new to them. And it will be brand new to the new students, so all of my data will not be in the same location. So that is solution number 1. Solution number 2. This is only going to solve mixing your data together from year to year. So I'm going to come to the Google form that I used on year 1, and this is the one that I assigned for year 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that form, click on responses, and this is the student that answered in year 1, and then this was my new students that answered in year 2. I don't want all of this data mixed together. So what I'm going to do are two things. I'm going to click the 3 dots and delete all responses. Now, unfortunately, you're going to delete all of the responses from year 1. So if you want any of these nice charts and graphs, you're going to come here, copy them, and go ahead and paste them somewhere else if that's what you want to do. But then you're going to come here and delete all responses. What that's going to do is it's going to delete all of the responses here. And now when your students from year 2 start answering, it'll be fresh. The second thing you need to do is to come to the 3 dots and unlink the form. So you already created the form for year 1, the spreadsheet, I should say, for year 1 usually. So like if I click here, that spreadsheet will come up. So what I'm going to do is click the 3 dots and unlink the form. What that does is the spreadsheet is still going to be in your Google Drive with all of your responses from year 1. But when you unlink it, what that does is it unlinks the spreadsheet from this Google form. So now you honestly have a brand new, fresh Google form without having to make a copy. And when I click this again, you see that, now I can put the school year on this, and this would be a second spreadsheet with the responses for school year number 2. So that's a quick way to reuse and refresh your Google form from year to year. You won't keep the responses like the charts and graphs unless you copy them, but you will be able to keep the spreadsheet from year to year to year, and it won't get all jumbled together and messed up. So those are the responses the solutions for solution 2. One side note, if you use Google Classroom for your Google form and you don't create a spreadsheet, which means when you click here, there is no unlinked form because you never create the spreadsheet. You simply come here to your Google and you import the grades. If that's the case, then delete all responses. When you delete all responses, that's going to delete those students' email addresses and they will be able to respond again. So 3 dots, delete all responses, and then this is a fresh form ready for you to use again. Also, just because I deleted all the responses, in my older Google Classroom, the student grade is still here. So if you're worried about losing the actual student grade, it is still here. It's in draft because I haven't returned it to the student, but the grade is still here. So we don't have to worry about that. And even if you have to just kind of hover over to see what did they make out of it, that's fine. But the grade doesn't disappear from older Google Classrooms if that's something that you're concerned with. Solution number 3 focuses on the student that may fail from year to year. And I think I lied in solution number 2. Solution number 2 will work for both problems. So if you clear everything, then that student's email address gets cleared, so then they can take it again. So solution number 2 will solve all. All right, solution number 3. If I'm only focused on the student that failed, then of course I can come here, right-click on the Google form and make a copy of that Google form just for that one student. So I can make a copy, put the student's name on it, and then when I come to Google Classroom and I come to classwork and I create the assignment, I can click all students and only send it to that one student. So for example, on this one, I can choose just user 5 to send it to, and then that student that may have failed that year gets it. Now, the other thing you can do is you can go into your Google form that you've already created. You can go to the gear and you can unlimit it to one response. So as soon as you uncheck that and click save, the student who had already done it the year before will now have access to it. So by simply unchecking that button and clicking save, they will have access to it. And then if you want to, after that student takes it, come and click it again. So now, during the year, the students can't take it again. There you go. So this works really well if the student that failed is in class while you're all taking the test at the same time. Now, of course, if you let's say are distance learning and you send it to your students, then I don't know if you want to do that. The good thing is on the spreadsheet and such, you'll be able to see if they try to retake it, but that's why we limit it because we don't want them to retake it. So there you go. That is an option. And that is solution number 3. So there you go. 3 solutions for this problem. I myself like solution number 2. I think it's the least amount of clicks, but I want to show you all of the solutions so you can choose which one you would like to use. Good luck.